Dear students, I am Mridula Arora from Navyuk School, Pandarappa. In previous sessions, you learnt about some life processes such as nutrition in plants and animals. We also learnt about the mechanism of transport of food and water in plants. Today, we shall study about the structure and function of human heart. Students, after this session, you will be able to draw a neat and labeled figure of heart, explain the structure and function of heart, justify the presence of 4 chambers, septum, valves and thicker walls of ventricles in the human heart. Students, if we see an animal running or a man shouting loudly, we know that these are living beings. But if the animal or the man were asleep, we would still think that they are alive. But how do we know that? Yes, we will check their breath and heartbeat. If they are breathing and their heart is beating, they are alive. So, breathing and heartbeat is essential for survival. Do you know why? It is because the heart pumps the blood to all parts of the body. Blood transports glucose, oxygen, salts to all parts of the body and collects nitrogenous waste material from all parts. Students, in class 9th, we learnt about blood being a fluid connective tissue. Blood consists of a fluid medium called plasma in which the cells are suspended. Plasma transports glucose, carbon dioxide and nitrogenous waste in the dissolved form. Oxygen is carried by the red blood cells. We thus need a pumping organ to push blood all around the body and a network of tubes to reach all the tissues. This pumping organ is heart. Heart beats and pumps the blood to all parts of the body. Do you know that our heart normally beats 70 to 75 times with an average of 72 times in a minute? Students, where is heart located in our body? Do you have some idea? The heart is a muscular organ situated in the thoracic cavity, in between the 2 lungs. It is slightly tilted to the left. Just guess what is the size of the heart. Students, the heart is as big as our fist. I'm sure you would be curious to know about the structure and function of the heart now. Students, if we look at the cross section of the heart, we see there are 4 chambers in it. Dear students, you are aware that both oxygen and carbon dioxide have to be transported by the blood. The heart has different chambers to prevent the mixing of the oxygen-rich blood with the carbon dioxide containing blood. Our heart has thus 4 chambers, 2 upper chambers called atria and 2 lower chambers called ventricles. The upper chambers or atria are receiving chambers as they receive blood from various parts of the body. The lower chambers or the ventricles are the pumping chambers as they pump blood to various parts of the body. Students, now let's study the process of blood circulation through an animation. Deoxygenated blood from all parts of the body is transported by vena cava to the right atrium. The right atrium then contracts and transfers the blood to right ventricle. The right ventricle then pumps the blood to lungs for oxygenation through pulmonary arteries. Here, the blood gets oxygenated. The oxygen-rich blood from the lungs comes through pulmonary veins to the left atrium. When this left atrium gets full with the blood, the left atrium contracts and transfers the blood to left ventricle. Then the left ventricle contracts and this oxygen-rich blood is pumped out to the body through the largest artery called aorta. Now let's study about the special features of the heart. Now look at the figure on the screen and focus on the walls of atria. Do you know that the walls of ventricles are thicker as compared to the walls of atria? Students, since the walls of the ventricles are highly muscular, they can exert more force to pump the blood to various parts of the body. So, ventricles have thicker walls as they have to pump the blood. Now, notice the partition between the atrium and the ventricle. The atrium and the ventricle of the same side are also separated by septum. This septum has an opening called valves. The opening of the right ventricle into the pulmonary artery and the left ventricle into the aorta are also provided with half moon shaped or semilunar valves. Let us now understand what is the function of these valves. The valves in the heart allow the blood to flow only in one direction. The blood cannot flow back from ventricle to the atria or from aorta to the ventricles. The valves thus prevent backflow of the blood. Students, now notice that there is a thin partition between the left and the right side of the heart. This partition is called septum. This septum prevents mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Students, let's revisit the process of circulation in humans through an animation and compare it with other animals. In all birds and mammals, the blood goes to the heart twice during each cycle. This is known as double circulation. The deoxygenated blood comes to the heart first. Then it is passed on to the lungs for oxygenation. Just have a look at the screen. You can see the flow of the blood through the animation. In the lungs, the blood gets oxygenated and this oxygenated blood comes back to the heart. Just have a look at it. After it reaches the heart, it is then pumped to all parts of the body. This is how double circulation takes place in humans. It also takes place in birds and mammals. Double circulation is important to prevent the mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Students, you have noticed that humans, birds and mammals have 4 chambers. Do all animals have 4 chambers? Let us look at the frog. Amphibians and many reptiles have 3-chambered heart, as they can tolerate some mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood streams. What about the fishes? Fishes have only two chambers in their heart and the blood is pumped out to the gills. It is oxygenated there and passes directly to the rest of the body. Thus, blood goes only once through the heart in the fish during one cycle of the passage through the body. Now, look at the figure of the heart and identify the chamber that receives deoxygenated blood from the body. If your answer is right atrium, then it's correct. Now another question for you students. Now identify the blood vessel that carries deoxygenated blood to the lungs for oxygenation. Just guess. If your answer is pulmonary artery, then it's correct. Let's recapitulate some more concepts about structure and function of heart now. Identify the blood vessel that brings oxygenated blood to the heart. Let's see whether your answer is correct. If your answer is pulmonary vein, then you're right. The next question is, identify the chamber that receives the oxygenated blood from the lungs. Let's test your learning now. Yes, it is left atrium. You are right. Now, tell me, what role does the septum play in the heart? I hope you can answer this question also correctly. You are right. Septum prevents mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Another question now. I'm sure you would be able to answer this as well. What is the significance of valves? Students, you know, valves prevent the backflow of the blood. Now, the last question. Why is the wall of the left ventricle thicker than that of the left atrium? Students, left ventricle has to exert force to pump the blood to all parts of the body. So, the wall of the left ventricle is thicker than that of the atrium. Students, I hope you enjoyed today's session. We will meet again. Avoid junk food to stay healthy. Take care. Now is the time to ponder. Explore the internet and find the answers to these questions. Here are some instruments. You have to identify them and you have to tell what is the role of each of these instruments. Students, I hope this session would have given you some insight into the structure and function of the heart. This slide indicates that heart is really important for all of us to keep us healthy and happy. Stay happy and stay healthy. Take care.